Welcome, everybody, to the College Basketball Preview Show on the Grueling Truth Sports Network. I'm your host, Mike Goodpaster. Today, we're going to look at the ACC Battle at noon tomorrow at Cameron Indoor, where the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, 7-8, will travel to battle the Duke Blue Devils. Duke's one of the best teams in the country. Cooper Flagg, Con Knuppel, these guys, Tyrese Proctor, they just keep getting better. Defensively, they're already an elite team. Offensively, three-point shots. They've had 4 games in a row where they've hit double-digit three-pointers. So this is a game here that, on the outside looking in, you would think they should have no issue winning. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at that game today. Now, Duke basketball hasn't faced much resistance in the ACC. But let's face it, guys. The ACC is down this season. The fourth-ranked Blue Devils, who are 13-2, 5-0 in the ACC, have won their first 5 league games by double digits. The last time that the Duke Blue Devils did that was a 98-99 season when they beat UConn in a national championship game. So in their third season under John Shire, who's done an outstanding job with the Blue Devils, Duke has won its first 5 league games by an average of 23.2 points. Now, Notre Dame is coming off a pair of 1-point losses to North Carolina and North Carolina State. They're going to try to pull the upset here, and they're not a terrible basketball team, but there is a big talent gap here. The question is how bad Duke will beat them if you're betting on this game. Duke has won 31 of 39 games against Notre Dame over the history of this rivalry, including 11 of the 13 played in Durham. Mason Gillis, I think, will have a big game off the bench for Duke in this game. Notre Dame's not a very deep team. I also expect to get Duke to get a relatively decent lead early. So I think that when you look at that, prior to the last game, the Blue Devils were averaging 23 bench points per game. Purdue transfer Mason Gillis, who's an Indiana native, scored 5 of the Blue Devils' 6 bench points against Pitt. Gillis has averaged 7.3 in the last 3 games, and Notre Dame is heavily reliant on its starting lineup. The opportunity should be there for guys like Gillis, Malik Brown, Isaiah Evans, and Caleb Foster to provide a big boost off the bench for the Blue Devils on Saturday. Now, Notre Dame's big three of Marcus Burton, Braden Shrewsbury, and Tay Davis were the Fighting Irish's top players against North Carolina and North Carolina State. The trio combined to score 98 of Notre Dame's 138 points. That's 71% of the points in those games. And they were good enough to stay in the games with North Carolina and North Carolina State, and they had a chance to win at the end. Now, since returning from a knee injury to sideline him for 7 games, Burton has averaged 19 points, but 3.5 turnovers. Shrewsbury has averaged 14.5 points in the last 2 games, knocking down 7 threes in that stretch. And Davis has perhaps been the most consistent of that trio, with averages of 15.5 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists per game. Now, Tyrese Proctor, the Blue Devils' defense has been the story of the season to this point. But Duke's three-point shooting continues to get better. For the first time this year, Duke has knocked down double-digit threes in 4 straight games. During that stretch, the Devils have drained 43.4% of their trays. Tyrese Proctor has been at the center of that success, making 7 of 11 shots from long range in the past 2 games. Now, we do not have a point spread yet on this game. It should be out later on this afternoon. I assume a point spread of really around 18 to 20 points. And if I'm betting this game, I would actually bet it all the way up to 20 points. I think Duke is a far superior team. They're playing really well right now. And I think this Duke team's only going to get better. If I had to pick a team to win a national championship right now, I think with the coaching and with the players they have, especially the big 3 there, Proctor, Knuppel, and Cooper Flagg, I think Duke might be the team. I think Duke is at least a Final Four team. I think they win this game 82-57. I would bet Duke up to a -20. I wouldn't bet them more than that, but I would bet them at -20 because they're so deep. I think they're just going to run Notre Dame ragged into the ground. All right, guys, and if you want to bet this game, BetMGM is the best sports book possible for doing that. You can click on the link in the description down below if you're watching on YouTube. Make sure you follow us on YouTube, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Follow us at X, at Grueling Truth. But for now, guys, I'm Mike Goodpaster. You've been watching and listening to The Grueling Truth, where the legends speak.